We are now in step 3, which consists of using function formulas. Excel has more than 300 built-in functions performing calculations. Mathematical functions, which performs calculations that you could perform using a scientific calculator. Our statistical functions, which are used to describe large quantities of data. So let's go ahead and get started with step 3. We will start off by working with a pretty simple function that you guys should all be familiar with, which is the sum function, which is simply to add. Although it is easy to enter a formula, if the formula consists of several cells, it could take you a long time to enter all the cell references. So a shortcut would be simply using the auto sum feature, which allows you to name a function instead of using operators like the plus symbol on and on and on to add. So let's go ahead and get started with this step. The first thing we need to do is save this step as order 3. And actually what I want to do, because I think what I failed to do in the last step, is to save it as order 2. So go ahead and save this step as order 2 if you did not do so, so you can have your order 2. Now we're ready to save as order 3, and we'll work in our order 3 document. Okay, so we have our adjusted price of merchandise, of what we will pay for our merchandise, and now we need a subtotal. So click on your formulas tab, and you have the auto sum function here. So you should be in cell F9, go to your formulas tab, and auto sum. Click your auto sum button. Now, notice when you click your auto sum button, and Excel is intuitive enough to know or think that you want to add all of the formulas in the column you're currently in, the same cell that of the column you're currently in. I know that sounds confusing. So notice our formula looks like equals sum, and in parentheses it put the range F2 through F8. Now, the reason why we can actually update it to say F6, it really doesn't matter because 7 and 8 are blank. And notice that it tells us our function here, we're adding the sum of numbers. So go ahead and press enter to accept this argument, and it totals our subtotal of $518.41. Now, click cell F10 if you're not already there. We are now ready to compute our sales tax, because when you go shopping, you always have to pay that state sales tax if you have sales tax, in which we do in Kentucky. So let's go ahead and compute our sales tax. Let's say it's 6%. So in order to compute our sales tax, we have to multiply our subtotal by our sales tax. So our formula would look like, clicking your cell F10, equal sign, F9, which is our subtotal, times, which is shift 8, and in parentheses, 0.06%, which is 6% sales tax, and enter. Now you should have sales tax of $31.10. So this is what our formula looks like. We multiplied our subtotal times, in parentheses, 6% sales tax, which is as a decimal 0.06. Okay, so now we are ready to get the total in cell F11. So again, this time let's go to our home tab and notice that we also have our auto sum button, the same button under our editing group on the home tab. Click that. Now we have to do some work here because we want to add our subtotal with our sales tax, but Excel is only including cell F10, which is the sales tax. We also need to add our subtotal to our sum. So one quick way to do that is notice the marquee going around your sales tax. If you move to the top of the cell, to that corner, the top corner, right or left, it doesn't matter, to get the double-headed arrow, click on that. Notice my marquee stopped, but it's still a blue border, and drag it up. Then notice it automatically included F10 in my selection. Press enter. And now we have our subtotal. So essentially we did a sum of our adjusted price to get our subtotal by pressing the auto sum. We had to multiply our subtotal times the sales tax to get our sales tax, and for our auto sum of our total price we calculated the sum between our subtotal and sales tax. Okay, so cell F11 is our active cell. Click on the home tab if you're not there and copy your contents to your clipboard, and then open up your clipboard pane. So notice your total is copied to your clipboard pane. Now click in cell A17 and paste your content. Notice that when you paste it to A17 your result is 0, but when you look here at your formula, it's adding the sum of A15 through A16. So A15 and A16 is blank. So that's why you got zeros. Now, click on cell A18. This time, we will select paste values. So it's possible to actually paste the value to another cell. When you click back on this cell A18, notice the only thing it gives us is the number or the value. It doesn't give us any formulas because we simply selected to paste the value. Now, increase your decimal point because we want it to look just like this number here. So if you move over to your number, we want to increase our decimal point. Let's see. There we go. I was doing decrease. This one's decrease and this one's increase. So make sure you click on increase. And your number 549.51 is exactly like your total here, just by increasing your decimal point. Okay, so let's go ahead and clear the contents of our clipboard and close it out. You basically completed your inventory. So if you worked at a department store or something like that and had to figure out inventory using Excel, this is exactly how you would do it. Hopefully you're not confused and that you got it, but it takes practice. The more you use it, the better you become. Go ahead and save, and I will see you on step 4.